We fight the power every day.
Yeah,
gotta give us what we want. Gotta give us what we need. Hey!
I listen to KBLA and I love the commercials. I know what the commercials mean. I also, if I'm looking and trying to figure something out, I need something to talk to me that might hit me. And it happens on TV because, you know, every time they show a sporting event, they got the pharmaceutical companies back to back to back telling people how to fix the sickness on the same stuff that they sell them. So we get it.
Yep, we get it too, Chuck D. And that's why at KBLA Talk 1580, we don't black down.
Drop it! Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be. Fight the power! Fight the power! Fight the power!
Hey Zoe, I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light, see the light.
Suppose the speaker, when the speaker ends attachment completely, you understand? Not to persons, to ideas, the whole process of attachment, with all the consequences of attachment. When there is an ending to it, that's totally different state of mind, right? Isn't there? I have been attached to my furniture, to my... and that attachment has been a burden, and when the ending of that burden, there is freedom, right? So, ending is more important than beginning.
Ending the attachment is more important than the beginning. Krishnamurti, that's his name, Jiddu Krishnamurti. Weekend before last, I actually was in Ojai, and I went to the Krishnamurti retreat, a cottage that was purchased for he and his brother in 1922. All of his effects are still there. They've turned their home into basically a museum. And I went to visit just for a day, just to see the library, to see where the legendary philosopher lived, and worked. And it was amazing. And what he's talking about is so on point here. He says, at the end of attachment, there is freedom. Right? And that leads us to tonight's topic. See, attachment theory is what everybody wants to talk about, right? Everybody wants to talk about attachment theory. But I'm here to tell you, attachment theory isn't the begin-all, end-all of relationship discussion, right? We don't understand what relationship is actually for. Now, we can have a kinder word, right? Other than attachment, right? We can say bonding. But in a true bond with an individuated person, with a healed person, there is yet still freedom. Do you see? Many of us are unhealed, and the attachment yields suffering. This is what the great Krishnamurti was saying in that clip about how attachment will breed suffering. Well, Krishnamurti wasn't the first to say that. That is something that the Buddha spoke of. Attachment leads to suffering, right? Attached to your coping mechanisms. We call them copamine, right? Or hopamine, right? Attached leads to suffering. And relationships, and see, because this is where y'all got it twisted. They say, oh, we have to bond and healthy bonding and this and that. No. The bond is to keep your spirit in place, whether it's uncomfortable or not. The bond is to keep your spirit in place until you grow up. The bond is the anchor. I know nobody's ever told you that, because nobody's teaching that. The bond is a spiritual gravitational force that holds you to a lesson. Why do you need to be held to a lesson? Because your natural proclivity is to run from that which is uncomfortable. That leads us to tonight's topic. Symbiotic neediness. Wired to be desired. Are you only comfortable with dating the needy? The needy will provide you with something that you refuse to cultivate within. The needy will give you validation, acknowledgement, approval. They'll even give you capitulation. They'll give you whatever you want so as to not lose you. Do you seek out the needy person because you want to feel like the bigger person? Listen, 1-800-920-1580. Do you seek out the needy person so you can feel like a bigger person? Are men socially conditioned to be anxious, preoccupied? When a man feels like a woman doesn't need him, 1-800-920-1580. Who wants to talk about it? I want to know, what truly distinguishes neediness from codependency? While narcissism manifests across a wide range of behaviors and relational patterns, its opposite, i.e. mirror, codependency, operates on an equally complex spectrum. How can we discern if our appeals for intimacy are simply expressions of momentary need or signals of deep-rooted codependency? I just need a hug right now. I don't need you to hug my inner child. I just want a hug from you now. What's the difference between neediness and deep-rooted codependency? Is a longing ever a clinginess ever justifiable? Like, is longing and clinging, is it ever justifiable? Or does it always hint at unresolved inner conflicts? 1-800-920-1580. Get to your phone lines. Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. Do you feel like the person doesn't want you, doesn't care about you, if they are not pining for you in some way? Thank you for the word, Nzinga. Consider what it means if you repeatedly date partners who exhibit desperate clinginess. Perhaps your attraction to such dynamics reflects more than a mere preference. It may indicate an unconscious avoidance of confronting your own hidden truths. A secure partner, one unburdened by constant neediness, might challenge you to face these inner realities. Many people don't like to be challenged in their intimate relationships by their partner. Who are you to tell me what I need to work on? The person living in this thing with you? In doing so, you might be forced to acknowledge aspects of your own identity that remain unhealed or unexplored. On tonight's Voice of Reason episode, I invite you all to re-examine the very foundations of your relational behaviors. I'm asking you, are you simply fulfilling a desire to be desired, or are you trapped in a self-sabotaging cycle that leans on validation as a substitute for true self-worth? Somebody got to make you feel like you're worth something. Are you clingy? Are you thirsty for worthiness? Somebody, I don't know who I'm talking to this evening. Are you thirsty for worthiness? You don't know how to develop it from within, so you incessantly seek it externally. You're performing, you're tap dancing, you're soft shoeing, you're doing it all so you can be acknowledged. You need somebody in a bad space so you can be uplifted. Very interesting tonight. We're delving deep into this inquiry. We're going to ask you whether your emotional patterns stem from an honest need for connection or a deeper, maybe perhaps even unconscious deferral of inner transformation. In essence, if you continually gravitate towards partners who exude neediness, it might be a reflection of your own internal landscape, an area fraught with unrecognized, unrequited, unacknowledged fears, insecurities, and an avoidance of a more profound personal kind of accountability. This dynamic sets up a confrontation. Your yearning for closeness might be shielding you from the discomfort of confronting your authentic self, while also inviting relational conflicts that undermine the possibility of mutual growth. You don't know you're needy when you say all you got to do is act right. If you would just act right, I'd be good. That's needy. The very demand that somebody should show up acting right. I know you don't look at it that way. I know. Them acting right is the counterbalance to you not acting right for you, for yourself. I know you don't want to hear it. Oh, I know you don't want to hear it put this way. Oh, yeah. Could what we label as needy also be seen as an echo of a deeper silent cry for healing? And if so, how might we reframe our understanding to move beyond superficial labels, creating space for authentic vulnerability and true connection? How do we do it? Ultimately, on tonight's Voice of Reason, this exploration will urge a radical rethinking of relational dynamics. I contend that the patterns we observe in our relationships are not merely attraction or repulsion. They are reflections of our inner state. And sometimes our inner state is a complete mess, while our external state is in pristine condition. When we lean into the discomfort of our own neediness, a vulnerability many shy away from, we open the door to a more integrated self. In contrast, persistently escaping the inner work through the familiar, yet destructive lure of codependent dynamics only reinforces the distance between who we are and who we could become in a more secure and balanced relationship. I know the framing tonight is a bit provocative, but I'm here to challenge us to see that the real battle lies not in labeling behaviors as needy or codependent, but in understanding what these patterns reveal about our inner life. In doing so, we might just uncover the transformative potential to break free from the cycle of self-validation and step into a space where vulnerability and authenticity lead to a deeper, more satisfying connection with others. Let me tell you something. When you heal, you don't need much from others. When you start the healing process, you start to find out that what you expected of others is not as important as what you should expect from yourself. But see, not only expecting from yourself, but actually learning ways to give to yourself what you expect from others is the purpose of relating. And it is the pathway to growth. So many of us are so far down the rabbit hole of expectations. I posit tonight that toxic, copamine-filled expectations are an extension of neediness. They are an extension of scarcity. They are an extension of self-avoidant behavior. You never thought to look into yourself, to cultivate it for yourself. You've only been conditioned to look outside you. When we come forward, if you think I'm done frying this fish, man, you better get a plate. Pull up.
Relationships. Got you confused? Need some straight talk? This is where you get the unfiltered truth about love, relationships, and everything in between. He breaks down relationship dynamics with no-nonsense wisdom and practical advice that actually works. Tackling the questions you're afraid to ask and giving you the answers you need to hear. You're inside the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
One, two, one, two, one, two, one, two. You ready?
Somebody make some noise in this joint.
KBLA Talk 1580 celebrates its 4th anniversary this year on Juneteenth.
Here we go again.
Hard to believe 4 years has gone by so fast. Oh my God. But here we are, still standing, still loving and serving our people as best we can.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
To celebrate our 4th anniversary, we have 4 big events, and you're invited to all of them.
She got a lot to say. Let's do this.
Let's get it on! On Wednesday, June 18th, we go live on C-SPAN for the 2nd consecutive year with our Climate Justice plus Black Health Symposium. Tavis Smiley will moderate an all-star panel of thinkers and influencers as we continue our vitally important climate justice work.
Hey, Tavis Smiley, talk about.
On Thursday, June 19th, you're invited to join us as we celebrate Juneteenth and our 4th anniversary. There'll be plenty of food, fun, great music, good vibes, and all of your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts will be there. Flip the beat. On Saturday, June 21st, there are 2 big events you're invited to attend.
I can't wait to hear it.
This year, KBLA Talk 1580 continues its annual partnership with the Empowerment Congress for a community celebration and dialogue to educate, engage, and empower. This year's theme is resilience in the face of chaos.
Can't wait to see what's up next.
Y'all ain't ready for this.
And new this year is our State of Black Women in Los Angeles Symposium, moderated by Dominique DePrima, with a luncheon to follow. Dominique will be leading a dialogue with some of the most impactful Black women leaders in Los Angeles, and you're invited to join.
This is it.
All of these events are free, but seating is limited, so you must register in advance at our KBLA1580.com website, where you can find all the details you need about each event.
Check it out.
It's our 4th anniversary, and we would love to celebrate it with you.
I love you guys so much. There's nothing you can do about it.
We're KBLA Talk 1580.
The only black talk radio station west of the Mississippi.
Thank you for having our black.
Happy anniversary, KBLA!
We love you. Love you.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Worried about eviction? You have rights, and Stay Housed LA can help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between LA County, the City of Los Angeles, and local service providers. From Lancaster to Long Beach, we're here to help you with tenant education workshops, legal clinics, free legal services for eligible tenants, and online resources about tenant protection laws. Don't face eviction alone. Call our hotline at 1-888-694-0040. That's 1-888-694-0040. Or visit stayhousedla.org. Stay Housed LA, keeping Los Angeles residents in their homes. Stay Housed LA, your rights, your home, our community. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
And yes, y'all, you are now in tune to the sounds of the legendary Foundation. Listen and stop what you're doing and set it in motion. It's the next movement. You listen and stop what you're doing and set it in motion. It's the next. We got the ha-ha music, the hot music, the ha-ha music, hot music, the ha-ha music, the hot music, the ha-ha music, hot music. Yeah, 1, 2, 2, that's how we usually start. Once again, it's the thought, the Dalai Lama of the mic, the Prime Minister thought. This directed to whoever and listen it frames. Yo, the whole state of things in the world about to change. Black rain falling from the sky looks strange. The ghetto was red hot, we stepping on flame. Yo, it's inflation on the price for fame, and it was all the same. But then the antidote came. The black thought, ill syllabus out the fifth. This heavyweight rap, I'm about to lift like a father lift up his seed to sunlight. I plug in the mic, draw like a gunfight.
Like, how do we end up with this place that we live in that has so many gaps in community if men were seeing community? Okay. Every system is perfectly designed for the result it's currently getting.
Ooh.
And we have gotten a system built by men who saw the world through their own lens and prioritized their own needs and not the global community.
Ooh.
Somebody says, I need to feel needed. They are only seeing themselves.
I have a follow-up question on that subject. Did you ever feel like there was a time that you felt like you needed to be needed?
Oh,
like, I
yeah.
want to be. It seems like knowing you for as long as I've known you, that was a season of your life where you didn't realize you were wantable.
That's
you could
correct.
be wanted.
No, not for who I really am. I think a lot of men think that they might be wanted for what they can offer. Ooh. But again, this is a narrative and a myth cycled by men to other men about both what is desirable and what is necessary, because we never listen to women. You're missing half the population's insight on what is valuable. You're gonna miss some really key things. I thought to be a man meant that you needed to be needed.
You are needed.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a well-resourced person to be able to offer the world something.
Mm-hmm.
As a woman, most of my life, of a great period of my life, I wish I was less needed. It never occurs to me to think, I hope somebody needs me. I've always felt like, oh my, I'm overwhelmed.
Yeah.
I wish I was needed less.
So that's a key though, because I think from a man's perspective, whether we know it or not, our version of being needed is connected to transaction that we will then get comfort. I need an opportunity to prove my worth, to then earn the thing I really want, which is belonging.
Which is a transaction.
Yes.
It's a completely transactional way of looking
exactly.
at the world.
We don't know how to connect with our emotions. We don't know how to be vulnerable. Out of our own wound, we want to be comforted.
In the name of sweet baby Ray's barbecue sauce, they said a word, did they not? Transactional neediness? I need you to need me, right? And I'll provide you with everything, so long as you make me feel valued, appreciated, seen. Do you see what the gender roles have done to masculinity and femininity? We're at a point now where masculine and femininity are transactional both ways, bidirectionally. Oh, how so, Zoe? Women are now at the point where they want to sell you, right? What? Yeah, they want to sell you the feminine wiles, the nurturing, the empathy, the care, the attention, the focus, right? You want to be needed? I will sell it to you for security. That's the transaction. I'll nurture you if you secure me. We live in a society of toxic liars. You think by participating in this transactional exchange that you're going to heal? You say, well, wait a minute, Zoe, you mentioned the gender roles. You get back to that. Simply put, the gender roles don't speak about individuation. They don't speak to individuation. Many people have never heard the term individuation until they go to a therapist, right? You have to become a whole person. These are two halflings expecting each other to answer each other's needs. And I'm trying to tell you that's fine. There's nothing wrong with being in a relationship where we tend to each other's needs, but we should not be addicted to the behavior. Clingy dependency versus claustrophobic autonomy. Let's explore how anxious, preoccupied individuals restlessly seek validation or relentlessly seek validation, while dismissive avoidance defensively retreat from intimacy. Question. We have to question the paradox of vulnerability. Does our intrinsic need to belong come at a cost of self-sovereignty? Is that what we're paying for? Consider nonlinear energetic flows between each other, how this interplay of intense desire and retreat has been seen as complementary cosmic forces. We are mirroring each other. We run away from each other and we run to each other. Why is that the case? When I come forward, the voice of reason is going to continue cooking up this fish fry. Get up in here, get your plate. It's going down.
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Chicago had a less violent Memorial Day weekend than last year, with 22 people shot and 2 killed. Black Mayor Brandon Johnson credits his administration's approach to safety and expects continued improvement as summer approaches.
Homicides are down 21%. Shooting incidents are down 36%. Robberies are down 36%.
Last year, 41 people were shot, with 9 killed. Black Maryland Governor Wes Moore is asking FEMA to assess flooding damage in western Maryland, which damaged buildings, cut power, and forced school evacuations. He says state emergency costs were high, and the assessment will help determine if Maryland qualifies for a presidential disaster declaration. And a bill advancing in the Louisiana state legislature would allow the New Orleans Sewerage and Water Board to elect its own president, ending the automatic role of Black Mayor LaToya Cantrell. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Joe Buck and John Smoltz welcoming you back to the City Center Convenience Mart. Uh-oh. She's looking at the cigarettes, but she just grabs the gum off the counter. Stand Up to Cancer and Rally want you to reduce your risk for cancer. Go to takeahealthystand.org.
Yeah, yo, come on. Here come the drums.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we fight the power every day.
Yeah, gotta give us what we want. Gotta give us what we need. Hey.
I listen to KBLA and I love the commercials. I know what the commercials mean. I also, if I'm looking and trying to figure something out, I need something to talk to me that might hit me. And it happens on TV because, you know, every time they show a sporting event, they got the pharmaceutical companies back to back to back telling people how to fix the sickness on the same stuff that they sell them. So we get it.
Yep, we get it too, Chuck D. And that's why at KBLA Talk 1580, we don't black down.
Drop it! Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be. Fight the power! Fight the power!
If you need to hire, it seems like the whole process can be exhausting. You search resumes, wait for the right candidates to apply, set up initial interviews. It's a lot of time and work. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates for your job the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro is super easy to use. You simply pick a time, and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you can choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day. Best of all, you save time and energy.
Try Zip Intro for free right now at this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today, talk to qualified candidates tomorrow. Once again, go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cal Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. Want to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're one of America's largest financial services companies. Like how I'm more than Saquon Barkley, the NFL's reigning leading rusher. I'm also the NFL's leading husher. Shh, hush up back there. Wow, I might have just set the hushing record. Well, almost. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Investment Services Corporation, member FINRA, Columbus, Ohio.
The Comedy Connection series featuring KBLA's Zoe Williams, the voice of reason, and the alpha male of comedy, Ray Grady. We're going to transform relationship disasters into stand-up material live at Inglewood's Miracle Theater on May 31st at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. My clinical team will disclose all of your dating woes, while the alpha male of comedy, Ray Grady, has hand-selected supremely talented comedians to roast all of our tragic relationship choices. I dare you to bring your ex's phone number because Ray, he's going to text it live and the crowd will be sourcing emojis. Tickets are moving swiftly, so don't hesitate to grab yours at themiracleinglewood.com before I diagnose your dating history as a pre-existing condition.
This KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio that's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yo, the anticipation arose as time froze. I just stared down the aisles with my eyes closed and jumped straight into the crime code. I just did it. You trying to hear that heat right? Yup, well let's get it. My desire to groove was overcoming my fears. I got a Planet Rock record I stole from Blair's. I'm finna throw a disco up in my room upstairs. Put the needle to the record, let it soothe my ears. It goes, party people, this groove is so sonic. We finna get you high as a kite with no chronic. Who could tell at the time? But it was better than brain. I fell in love with the culture, was never the same. Remember, all stars and T.I. sweats and young rhythm round the projects, trying to chill. Cause my name on my buckle and my style is ill. Cause I got you in my system and refine the skill. You like my life soundtrack, my personal theme joint that knocked for me ever since I burst on the scene. Yo, it's like, give me the music and I make it my wife. Hip hop, you the love of my life.
There's almost nothing more detrimental to a man than knowing that he's not needed, right? A man wants to contribute. You used the word service before. I would use the word contribute. A man feels purpose through his capacity to contribute to his partner, to his children, to his friends, to his family, to his community, to the world, etc. So when you get into a relationship with a man, if you're operating from that place of I don't need you, it's going to come through your behaviors, through your actions. And that narrative, that story is likely what pushes men away who want to lead.
Very interesting. I'm going to say it again. If the service is transactional, the relational environment is a type of prostitution. Service is supposed to be bidirectional and organic. You've heard me talk about organic reciprocity. First off, most of us don't understand that our form of reciprocity in many relationships is transactional. Why else did we come up with the term, I didn't sign up for this? Huh? You guys know I like to take us on, a spiritual, ride, right? So here's the piece. In Sanskrit, in the Hindu belief systems, they have a term. The term is Siva or Siva, right? In Sanskrit. It is the concept of performing selfless service without expecting any reward. It is an extremely important practice in Hinduism and Sikhism. Siva literally means selfless service. Listen, it's not selfless if you got a checklist of expectations that need to be checked off. Now, and I want to listen, because some people will say, "Oh, Zoe, you're too far, and that's too extreme." What I'm saying is, if the basis of your relationships hang on what you get, if there's not a selflessness and organic free flowing between the two of you, it's a type of prostitution. It's cop and blow. That's what it is. And nobody wants to hear it put that way. You'd be better off saying, I love what you do for me. Not, I love you. I love what you provide. You'd be better off saying that. See, I'm trying to elevate the thought process. This is why people don't believe in love. This is why people think it's a fantasy or it's some type of plaything. Siva or Siwa in Sanskrit, the concept of performing selfless service without expecting any reward. We get into a relationship thinking that's where our rewards will come from. Now, part of that is true. Being exposed as clingy or anxious preoccupied. Being exposed that you have a worthiness wound or you fear intimacy. That is the reward. Do you see? Examine how anxious preoccupied's clingy behavior may serve as an unconscious self-therapy, a form of unconscious self-therapy to mend deep-seated insecurities. All they have to do is be triggered. All right? Are you guys ready for tonight? Let's get these callers in here. We got John from Mountain View, Hawaii. John, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Greetings and blessings, chat, and those in the sound of my voice. Blessings to you, Zoe, and happy belated birthday.
Thank you, brother.
Let's get to the dirt.
Let's get to the dirt. Here we go. Whenever you start like that, I know you're about to cook. Let me get out your way. Go ahead.
If you are looking for the immunity of not being in the courtroom that tells you yourself to yourself by yourself the truth you need to hear, and you're still running, you can't avoid the courtroom.
Come on. I'm sitting right here. Let's go. Keep throwing. He's almost off his feet. Keep going.
No levitations. I'm not going at nobody. I'm just saying. If you're trying to avoid you can't.
Right. Right.
If the relationship you really want to have outside of you has yet to take place inside of you,
okay.
What are you doing?
Playing.
And if we're going to continue to avoid it, if we're going to continue to play this game, if we're going to continue to do the things that we do, expect what you get.
No, but people think they can cheat the system. That's what a mask is for. If I wear the mask, I think that, guess what? You don't see me. You won't feel me. You won't feel the real me. The real me will never be exposed because I'm going to always be on guard, manicuring, protecting, and projecting this mask. And as long as I keep up the charade, right, I can never be found out. Come on. Prove me wrong. Let's go.
Sir.
I threw that for you.
Sir.
It's an alley-oop.
Sir. I'm on an island. I pay attention to my own business. I handle my own things, and I do the work that I need to for myself, by myself, with myself. How does that bother you?
Keep going. I'm listening.
How does that bother you?
It don't bother me at all.
Excuse me, sir. Ma'am, you have something in the back of your head. Allow me to get this piece of lint, if you would, please.
Right.
Ma'am, I just hold this door open for you. Whether you said anything or not, the door is still held open. Ma'am, why does that bother you? I don't know your pronouns, not expecting to know your pronouns. And where's the book that I could read so I could understand that? Why does that bother you? I drive a car on a highway that everybody got to drive. You have your license you earned the right to get. Why does me driving 3 miles over the speed limit bother you?
Keep going. I'm listening.
There's nothing else to complain about but what you're complaining about. And still, there's work that needs to be done, and it's you. Not me. It's you.
It's you. Hey, John, you already know what I'm going to say. Guess what? You over here cutting up. Hey, it's you. You the issue. Right? But do you know how difficult, I'm going to throw it back to you, John. You know how difficult that is for people to acknowledge and accept the fact that they're the issue? Sure, things do happen to us. But guess what? A lot of things happen to us with our participation, because of our participation. Talk to me, John. Why can't they look at themselves as part of the problem, part of the reality they don't want to continue to experience? Why is it always someone else's issue, someone else's fault?
I don't want to explain to you why. I want to be your friend right now. I want to show you the mirror and be the friend that you need. Work at it.
They don't want to do that.
Work at it. You worked on that job, and you worked for that degree to tell me how much of a doctor you are and tell me how much of a man I'm not. Work on yourself.
No. You're here to make me comfortable, sir. You're here to provide
If
security.
I'm here to make you comfortable, if I'm here to make your security, I've done all that. It's called 20 years of service in the military. It's called another additional 20 years of service in the military, serving those who serve the military, protecting you.
Right.
So again, I think I've done my duty, and my responsibility is to make sure you have a choice.
To make sure you're okay to go to Whole Foods and pick up some eggs. Keep going.
You got a choice, and you're telling me it's my fault still? Nigga.
John?
Work on yourself.
Guess what you just did, sir? Detonation. You detonated on this one, brother. Hey, we appreciate you, man. You brought your city in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call your brother Zoe Williams, the voice of reason, 1-800-920-1580. When we come forward, I think we're going to go back to the phone lines.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Why'd I go to the doctor? My heart would race just taking my son to practice. It didn't feel right. So I got checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Imagine a Los Angeles where everyone can thrive, where communities have access to the resources they need to succeed. That's the vision of Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. They're dedicated to improving life in LA County by providing educational support, employment assistance, and spaces for community engagement. By 2050, they want LA to be the best place to connect, create, learn, live, and play. They're working toward an education system that's well-resourced and culturally responsive, becoming a hub for artists and innovators, and making sure everyone has access to healthy food, quality healthcare, and safe housing. It's about building a future where we all have the chance to succeed. We invite you to learn more about their mission and get involved with Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Ghetto related, but the whole world awaited. Y'all Dorito head cast and yak is stagnated. Black Lord, the Dundee most war veteran, crown ruler, sole controller of this lyrical land. If where's the kid, who is it? Fifth dinosaur ghetto. Beat detonator, apex, my level next. My complex patterns of speech is like sex. I master the art of making you snap the necks. And chase Manhattan, endorse my mic checks. Upset, poet, threat, just collecting my debt. Yo, I'm overpainting dudes, blood, tears, and sweat. When you with the roots, that's as good as it get. Ultra magnet, we pull you in the drag net, then brainwash your click and extort your assets. Then Brody, all your homies on some old school shit. Roots 2 represent. Life's a gamble. Step up and place your bets. I drift through space, then make my escape on through the net. With CDs, cassettes, no CODs or checks. Straight from the old school, and your raws in full effect. I'm like Lex Luthor with rifles filled with kryptonite. When you grip the mic, it's like, come on kids, let's say goodnight. You don't like.
You say you want love. But tell me honestly, is it love you really want? Or is it to feel chosen by someone? Because there is a huge difference between loving and wanting to be loved. Most people who say they seek love are actually thirsty for validation. They want someone from the outside to prove what they cannot sustain on their own worth. They want to be seen, admired, desired, not because it strengthens the bond, but because it silences the insecurity that screams inside their chest. Erich Fromm, in The Art of Loving, got straight to the point. Most do not seek to love. They seek to be loved, because being loved seems easier, more comfortable. Loving requires effort, discipline, commitment. Being loved seems like a gift that solves everything. If someone loves me, then I am important. Then I deserve to exist. And this is where the illusion begins. You don't want love. You want the feeling that you are finally enough, that someone looked at you and said, with their gaze or touch, you are worth it. Because deep down, you don't believe that on your own. Your desire for love is not about sharing. It's about filling. Filling that internal void that no one sees, but that you feel every day. A void that may have started in childhood, perhaps with rejection, abandonment, or simply from never being taught to see yourself as someone worthy of love without having to prove anything to anyone. So you grew up believing you need to be chosen to have value, that you need to be desired to be relevant. And every time someone chooses you, you feel, for a brief moment, that everything is okay, that the emptiness has disappeared. But it always comes back, doesn't it? Fromm called this immature love. It's that love that arises from the need for fusion, that urgency to merge with someone because you cannot stand being with yourself. It's not desire, it's dependency. It's not connection, it's emotional addiction. And the worst part, the culture we live in feeds this. It teaches you to look for someone to complete you, someone to save you, someone to give meaning to your existence. But that is a lie sold as romance. True love does not happen when someone chooses you. It can only be born when you stop needing to be chosen. If you've made it this far, it's because on some level, you feel this. You feel that something is wrong with the way you relate. You feel that there is something in you that still waits to be validated by someone from the outside. And maybe you are tired of begging for attention, of losing yourself trying to be what others want, of clinging to the slightest display of affection as if it were all you have. But let me tell you one thing. This video is not to comfort you. It's to awaken you. Because as long as you don't see the root of your emptiness, you will continue to call neediness love and dependency connection. And that only destroys you from within.
The choice is you. The choice has always been you. Here's the thing. If we don't get back to the original purpose that the temple of relating initially offered us, the temple of relating, what is the temple of relationships? It offered us an opportunity, right, to see ourselves as we are. Not as the person we would like others to see us as. Relationship, the temple of relationships, offer us an opportunity to break free from conditioning. Really, relationships are freedom-creating machines or prisons, right? It is what you make it in that sense. The conditioning can become comfortable, a comfortable prison, right? Many of us choose a toxic, familiar situation over a healthy, unfamiliar situation, just because we don't know. I'm trying to get you to realize toxicity, or excuse the term I'm looking for here. It's aligning with scarcity, right? This, as the video said, thirst, right? Looking for someone to validate you. So let's talk about it. Are you only worth something to yourself when someone wants you? That's a question that must be dealt with. Are you only worth something to yourself when someone else wants you? Right? Does your spirit awaken when you're wanted? And does it darken when you feel as if you are unwanted? Now, I'm not saying that isn't a natural response to not being wanted, but this goes back to the deep-seated issue of it. Why you chase, why you're clingy, and as soon as you get a little bit of what you didn't get, right, you try to hold on to it for dear life. I'm asking, because I really want to hear people talk about it before they go into their next situation, right, or situationship. Breaking free of conditioning, rewriting self-worth narratives, dissect the cycle of insecure self-esteem and compulsive validation that underlies both neediness and codependency. Challenge culturally imposed ideas of worth by replacing them with a deeper inquiry into the nature of genuine self-value. So, is being needy synonymous with self-avoidance? When we come forward, we're going to find out.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Chicago had a less violent Memorial Day weekend than last year, with 22 people shot and 2 killed. Black Mayor Brandon Johnson credits his administration's approach to safety and expects continued improvement as summer approaches.
Homicides are down 21%. Shooting incidents are down 36%. Robberies are down 36%.